I'm Bill Balderas with Lifting Hopes. For the last 7 years, we've hosted an event in New Albany, Ohio that's featured a 5K, a pump and run, and a family festival. Now, all the proceeds for this event go to help kids here in Central Ohio who are battling cancer. We plan for this event all year long, and my very favorite part is when we select our honorary chairperson. In the past, we've had one of the world's strongest men, one of the world's fastest men, a Boston marathoner. We've had the executive director of a group that supports pediatric cancer patients. This year, our honorary chair is someone who's worked as a journalist all across the country. She's won 3 Emmys and an Ohio AP Award, and in addition to all of that, she's a great supporter of local causes right here in Central Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2016 Lifting Hopes Honorary Chair, Channel 10's Kristyn Hartman.
Hey,
Kristyn,
Bill.
thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful day.
Oh, it's gorgeous, and I am honored to be your honorary chair.
Well,
Thank you.
We appreciate your help. Now, you have your own very personal story about your battle with cancer. Can you share some of that with our viewers?
Yeah, about a year ago, I had a mammogram, and the mammogram found something called ductal carcinoma in situ, and that is stage 0 breast cancer. So, thinking back to it, that idea, I have cancer, certainly is, it stops you in your tracks. But, the approach that they took with me, you have a bump in the road and we're going to help you get over it, that set the tone for the whole thing. And it really was, it became okay, this is a challenge, I'm going to fight it, and I'm going to come out the other side the better for it. And that really was the case.
That's wonderful. Sounds like you learned a lot. If there's one lesson you could share with our viewers from that experience, what would it be?
Yeah, forward. Always forward. One foot in front of the other. You just keep working toward every goal in front of you. If there's a test to be taken, you take the test, and then you move on to the next thing. And then if it's surgical prep, you move on to that. And then if it's surgery, you move on to that. You don't let it get so large in your head. You just take one thing at a time. And I think really that's how, for me, that's how life is too. One thing at a time, so it doesn't become so overwhelming.
Wonderful advice. And speaking of overwhelming, you've always been such a great advocate of health and wellness and fitness, and sometimes working that into our lives seems pretty overwhelming. So what advice do you have for any of us who are just trying to take more control of our own health?
Well, it's interesting because, just calling to mind Lifting Hopes, there was a little boy who gave me a call who I'd done a story on, and his name was Keegan, and he said, will you run on my marathon team? And I'd never run a marathon. I'd never really run. He's the one who got me active and busy, and so I trained for that, and I was kind of hooked. But you can't do a marathon overnight, so my advice is, just like my one foot in front of the other, approach exercise that way. Walk, then break into a stride when you can. Do things that get you out and about. Make use of your surroundings. Instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. Instead of parking close, park far. Work your body.
Okay, great.
Whatever way you can, when you can.
Now on October 2nd, we're going to have hundreds of people working their bodies, gathering for Lifting Hopes to run, walk, bench press. We've had great support from the community these last 7 years. But what words do you have for our participants, or for those who are thinking about coming out to participate this year?
First and foremost, thank you. Kudos to you for celebrating and supporting such a good, worthwhile cause. And my piece of advice is, think of the person out there who you're helping. Try to put a face to it. Everybody, it never fails. If I go into a room and I speak somewhere and I ask, who knows somebody who's had cancer? Every single hand in the room goes up. Put yourself in their shoes and understand the challenges that they're facing, and know that you're really making a difference because you are. I mean, you sincerely are. When I did Raise for the Cure this year, I did it with all new eyes on the event. These are all people assembled to raise money and support something that I went through, and it's the same thing here. It's a real heart cause, and so congratulations for participating in it and putting your heart there with those kids and their families.
Great, thank you so much. And if you want to be part of it this year, October 2nd, 2016 in New Albany, you can register at liftinghopes.com. We'll have Kristyn Hartman from Channel 10 there. We'll have the Ohio State University Women's Rugby Club there. We'll have title boxing there. We'll have live music. We'll have games, crafts, food, and we're all coming together to support kids and families right here in our community who are battling cancer. Kristyn, thank you so much.
That's a high
We're
five.
gonna have a
Sounds
great
awesome.
one. All right.
It's gonna
Thanks
be
a
great.
lot.
See you soon,
Thank
folks.
you.